Good morning, family. It is a Saturday morning, man, and gosh, it's beautiful out here. S-A-T-U-R-D-A-Y, morning. I'm blog writing today, and that's always a good and productive exercise. Do you blog? Do you keep a journal or something? It's good work to do. Clarifies thoughts. I think it helps us explore some of the possibility space in our minds. I'm going to be blogging about, as I always do, tomorrow's Sunday, so we've got a gospel account we've got to read through a Jewish lens, so that'll be a thing that I'll be working on. And then I've also been, kind of in the background, just as I have time, been talking about 2 Esdras, or 4 Ezra. This is Jewish apocalyptic literature that has some thematic similarities to things that show up in the gospel accounts. And all of this is just to say that one of the things that I observe, both from those who have deconstructed from a more fundamentalist or conservative tradition, and atheists as they talk about engaging with the biblical literature, is that sometimes we don't go far enough. I think sometimes the idea is that, let's point out the inconsistencies, the contradictions, the discrepancies within the biblical literature, and then we sort of call it a job well done at the end of that. But I think sometimes we're putting a period where we could, in fact, have a semicolon. I think there's more to be said. And I think it does a little bit of a disservice of biblical interpretation writ large to merely point out the discrepancies or inconsistencies and then to say, okay, our job's done. There are actually some really interesting questions that once you do the work of deconstruction, then you can move on to some constructive work. This is the whole practice behind, so like anybody who's had Philosophy 101, you've probably heard about Rene Descartes, and the whole Cartesian approach to methodological doubt, where Descartes was like, I'm going to dismantle all of the beliefs that I think I have. And then once you get to what is just at the bottom, then you can begin to reconstruct the project from there. I think that's really instructive. Descartes was doing this hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago, but the practice of methodological doubt was only one half of the project. Then you did need to be constructive. You needed to build back once you dismantled some of the beliefs that you thought that you had at the time. You've got to expose those to some skepticism. But then, for example, when we get to there is a lot of inconsistencies in the biblical literature. And then you ask, well, so what? How do you rebuild from there? That's the project that I challenge you to start doing. If you're coming through a deconstructionist movement or an atheist movement, yes, inconsistencies and contradictions abound, and I am with you. These are human-authored source documents that have been compiled over a 1,000-year period with redaction, etc. But what are the rhetorical aims? What maybe did the ancient biblical author have in mind? Can we recover any of that? Can we think some about where there are these discrepancies? Why would the ancient redactors or editors allow those to stand? So dismantle and deconstruct, but don't forget to also reconstruct once you've sort of got to the bottom of skepticism and questioning your beliefs. Okay, I'm out, friends, but you certainly will hear more from me again soon. Peace, love, later.